last night at PNC Park, huh? Agree with me on that? Let's see if I can get something a little bit grounded this morning for you. Good morning. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Pirates 1, Dodgers nothing. Los Angeles' hitters went 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. They also murdered 2 baseballs, one each in the 8th and the 9th, that the ballpark just barely contained. The second of those representing the final out deep into the north side notch. Would have been a home run in any other park, but you know what? The result is the result. And full credit to Jared Jones for 6 scoreless innings, to the bullpen for tacking on 3 additional, to Jack Sawinski for a solo home run on the day he became an emergency recall. And oh yes, by the way, I mentioned the bullpen with 3 innings. The second of those went to Aroldis Chapman in the 8th, fighting back after a scare of his own with Teoscar Hernandez booming a ball. I actually looked down at my laptop and began to type into our live file at DK Pittsburgh Sports 3-run homer, and I never do that. That's how sure I was that it was gone, and I've seen quite a few games in that particular venue. But Chapman got it done. Bednar got the 9th done, got the save, after Chris Taylor, of all people, sent a ball way out there. I want to talk about the 7th inning. I want to talk about Colin Holderman, because nobody talks about Holderman. There are generalities from what I see here and read about this bullpen, and a lot of them are fair and accurate, especially when it comes to the very end. We've seen now both Chapman and Bednar cost the Pirates games. We've also seen them, I think, kind of find some calibration. I don't know that they're both all the way back yet, as this game kind of illustrated, but they're in the neighborhood. Holderman is the mayor of the neighborhood. His ERA is now 0.93, and while I cringe a little bit at ever mentioning reliever ERAs, I cringe less when the sample size is bigger. And, we're now into June, 0.93. But if you like more specifics, how about this? Hitters are now 10 for 69 against him on the season. That's a 144 batting average. That's like making every hitter you face into Rowdy Tellez. He's allowed only 3 of his 12 inherited runners to score. All he does is pound the zone with strikes, with dynamic, moving, hard stuff. So yeah, after this one, I went and had a talk with him. I'm just going to play you the whole talk. Let's just have some fun today. Oh, and by the way, the reference to the hit that he gave up was a Gavin Lux double to left field, in which Lux broke his bat and was probably lucky to even get any part of wood onto the ball. So here, just listen to it. You're really good. Why is that right now? What's going on?
I don't know. I just taking a day at a time, and things are clicking. Things in all aspects of my life are going pretty well right now. Family life here, so just taking the vibes and going with it.
So mentally, dude breaks his bat. I think the bat broke, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the double.
Yes.
Take me through your head there.
Well, so me and him have history. We're good friends, and
I did not know this.
We faced each other a lot in COVID, and that's partially the reason I'm here, because he's such a good hitter, and I got to face him every day. And
he beat you.
And he beat me. I think it's the first time in the big leagues he beat me. So
that was cheesy, though.
That was cheesy, and it was good. And I knew he was going to stay there. Though I was confident that with the next couple righties in there, I'll be all right.
What kind of a challenge is it going to be for this team? I mean, 1-0. That's a tough way to win on a consistent basis.
Yeah, especially against them. It's a good high-powered offense, and good thing for us. We have high-powered leverage relievers. So that was a battle that I think we'll take 9 times out of 10 if you get us to the back end of the bullpen. Good dude, huh? That come across? I hope so. I happen to believe, and I wrote this in an unrelated column on DK Pittsburgh Sports this morning about the game, that this bullpen's going to come around. I don't see Chapman or Bednar staying where they are
all season. I'll repeat that I think there's been progress on both fronts. But if there isn't, let's remember that when Holderman was with the Mets, he was seen as a closer in waiting. He was used as a closer at times in New York. He's got that experience. He's got that pedigree. He's got that moxie. He can do this. No, I am not recommending it in the moment. The team is much, much stronger if Bednar can be his best self, if Chapman can be what he's been for the better part of his career. But it's nice to know that it's there in the holster. When we come back, J1Q. This portion of Daily Shot of Pirates is brought to you by our friends at North Shore Tavern. That's directly across Federal Street from PNC Park. It's home of Steak on a Stone, an eating experience, underscoring the word experience. The steak is brought to you partially cooked on an 800-degree stone, and you do the rest. It's a ton of fun, it's a great meal, and it's a baseball atmosphere like no other in Pittsburgh. North Shore Tavern, right across Federal Street from PNC Park. Today's J1Q comes from Tim, who says, DK, every time I watch Jared Jones pitch, I can't help but still be mad about that game in New York. On the 16th of April, 5 innings, 59 pitches, no runs and 1 hit. It's hard to believe he's only 22. The Pirates genuinely have a cornerstone arm, a few of them actually. My J1Q is, how can I get over that game in April? I know the answer, enjoy the ride, but can the front office please start putting their resources into winning today? I blame that game for reversing any momentum they could have gained from that electric start. The big stage there at Citi Field. This game showed that he's ready for the big time against the Dodgers. You had me right up until that big time stuff. You know I'm not into that. They have a ball field in New York. They have a ball field in Los Angeles. They have a ball field in Pittsburgh. They're playing the same game everywhere they go. When these guys go out there, they'll tell you this, not me. They're so locked in. They're not aware of crowd size, general noise factor, certainly not anything that's being spoken or written in whatever constitutes a mainstream media anymore. It's just a game. It's just a game. And it's the same game wherever it is that you play it. Yes, are you more likely to be moved by a crowd of 35,000 that's screaming their lungs out, and you drop the ball on the mound and Russell Martin hits a home run off you, okay. But this New York, LA, big time, big stage stuff, no. Because if you want to go that route, then you think that Jones couldn't even handle pitching in front of what probably was about 6,000, 7,000 people in Detroit last week. He just didn't have it in Detroit. Now, as for getting over the April 16 game in New York, look, I was there. I covered it. I was in that clubhouse afterward. I was in that manager's office afterward. I was the one who asked Derek Shelton what they could have possibly been thinking. And he came up with a, I thought, really surprising answer. This was just a pitch count thing, which made no sense. This was a 4 days rest thing, which also made no sense because Jones could have easily been flipped or pushed back. And everything seemed to be really haphazard. I have a feeling that the reaction to it that you're describing is probably the most common one among the public. Because, yeah, the Pirates were feeling, pretty good about themselves, 9-2 start and everything, and especially excited about the kid. And then you see all that just kind of fall apart, and it felt like it was done, almost on purpose. And then from there, of course, as you seem to suggest, things just generally didn't go well. They lost 6 in a row, still haven't really recovered from that. All they do now is win 1 and lose 2, win 1 and lose 2. But I will say this, Jones has shown me a lot in his last couple of starts. And I'm sharing with you something that I shared with him last night after he was done with the cameras and microphones and so forth. I thought he showed me more between Detroit and this game last night than in any of those, oh my God, this is the greatest pitcher we've ever seen outings that he had early on. And for what it's worth, when I brought up something similar with Shelton, he really agreed. He said that it's one thing to go out there and perform when absolutely everything's going right for you. It's another thing to do what Jones did, not just in bouncing back from Detroit, but also in leaving all those men on base in the first 4 innings. Dodgers left runners in scoring position in each of the first 4 innings. So, I mean, he was walking a tightrope there, and he nailed it each time. And a couple of those times involved having to retire no less than Shohei Ohtani, which, by the way, he did on the big stage that is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I appreciate the question. You knew I was going to do that. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We will have another one of these tomorrow.